Thank you, and I too would like to welcome the Minister to the House today. I very much welcome this bill and its concentration on producing a modern registration system for Irish registered vessels, including small inshore craft. My own local authority in Galway, as with others, had to introduce bylaws some years ago in an attempt to regulate the actions of jet skis on Galway Bay. Registration of these vessels will go some way to ensuring their responsible use. I have a few small queries in relation to the bill, principally in relation to the potential cost of registering craft used in the tourism industry. The Minister, to his credit, has had well-deserved success in resuscitating our tourism industry in the last 3 years. Would the Minister, prior to setting any tariff in regulation, consult with the various tourist organisations? While registering small craft, such as commercial gilly boats, is to be welcomed to ensure adequate safety standards, I hope the Minister would be cognizant of the fact that many people with such craft only get seasonal work and do not make large amounts of money. At the same time, they contribute greatly to what is a very vibrant industry. I would therefore hope that the registration charge would be reasonable. For clarity, can the Minister assure the angling community that registering under this legislation will not be a precursor for some form of boat tax, as some of the online commentary from the angling community suggests? In relation to non-commercial boats less than 24 metres in length, I wish to highlight some concerns of the Irish Sailing Association, which I find reasonable. The vast majority of pleasure craft are less than 24 metres in length and therefore do not require registration as long as they are non-commercial. However, owners of vessels wishing to travel abroad on their boat to nearly any country other than the UK would find it practical if they could register their boats here. The downside to registering here is that small pleasure craft will then be subject to the same terms and conditions for registering as a supertanker. It would seem reasonable that the conditions for registering a small pleasure craft should be less onerous than large vessels. Perhaps the Minister might indicate whether he envisages an ability to voluntarily register a small vessel and have less burdensome conditions attached for the registration of smaller boats. Additionally, there is a requirement of a proof of ownership prior to the registration in this new bill. And while this is all well and good for large vessels, which may be owned by companies, the vast majority of small boats in Irish waters would be fourth or fifth hand, and no bill of sale would be available, given that the sale of boats generally happens informally over a long period of years. Would the Minister consider looking at this issue, perhaps requiring such owners to provide a sworn affidavit or a suggestion as sufficient for registration? And finally, just on Section 46, Part 3 of the Harbours Act 1996, it conferred powers on the Harbour Master in relation to import public safety of vessels. And given that a Harbour Master is required to have extensive experience in these matters, does the Minister not consider the new bill an inadvertent watering down of public safety issues, given that the bill now, I understand, confers this power on the Harbour Company as opposed to the Harbour Master? It seems a retrograde step, and perhaps the Minister could look again at that provision. Thank you.